It is 3 in the morning. The house is silent, the world is asleep. But inside your head, it sounds like a stock exchange floor during a market crash. You aren't thinking about restful meadows or counting sheep. You are replaying a conversation from 2009, where you accidentally waved at a stranger who was actually waving at the person behind you. You are calculating the trajectory of your career based on the slightly off tone of an email you received 3 days ago. You are wondering if you locked the front door, even though you checked it twice. You would honestly rather wrestle a bear than try to explain this noise to a normal person who smiles and says, "Just clear your mind." Let's pump the brakes. It isn't anxiety. It isn't insomnia. It's not that you're obsessed with the past or defective. Your brain is actually doing something genius, but nobody gave you the manual. Society loves to pathologize this. They call it overthinking. They call it neuroticism. They call it a lack of focus. They tell you to take a chill pill or try those mindfulness apps that feature a guy with a soothing voice telling you to imagine a leaf floating down a stream. But when you imagine the leaf, you immediately start analyzing the hydrodynamics of the stream, wondering if the water is polluted, and calculating how long it will take for the leaf to decompose. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The world is built for people with low-resolution internal monitors, people who can just be. You aren't them, and honestly, thank God for that. Society has been completely wrong about you. You are not broken. You are just built different. You are simply running a high-performance operating system in a world that runs on DOS. Let's look under the hood to see why you cannot just shut it down. The neuroscience here revolves around a system called the Default Mode Network, or DMN. Think of the DMN like the night shift janitor in your brain, who comes out when you aren't doing a specific task. For most people, the janitor sweeps the floor, turns off the lights, and goes home. For you, the janitor is a conspiracy theorist on a triple shot of espresso who decides to reorganize the entire library system because he found a typo in one book. Your brain also has incredibly high connectivity in the prefrontal cortex. This is the CEO of the brain, responsible for planning and logic. But in your case, the CEO is a micromanager who refuses to leave the office, even on weekends. It's not a glitch, it's high-speed processing power. You have a mental bandwidth that effectively processes data at 8K resolution, while everyone else is watching life in 480p buffering. You aren't unable to turn it off. You physically lack the off switch because your engine was designed for endurance racing, not parking. But here's where it gets interesting. This constant churn isn't a defect, it is a hyper-evolved survival mechanism. Spoiler alert, while the rest of the tribe was sleeping soundly by the fire, blissfully unaware of the dangers in the dark, your ancestors were awake. They were calculating the wind direction. They were simulating what would happen if the tiger attacked from the north versus the south. You are the descendant of the Sentinels. Evolutionary psychology suggests that this rumination is actually complex problem-solving simulation. You aren't worrying. You are beta testing reality before it happens to ensure zero casualties. Research suggests that high-functioning brains use this downtime to connect unrelated concepts, which is why you solve complex problems while staring at the ceiling. You aren't antisocial or anxious. You are a biological supercomputer running millions of simulations to ensure the survival of the group. The math just works differently for you. So where does this come from? It is usually a potent cocktail of genetics and early adaptation. Likely, you were the kid who noticed everything. You picked up on the tension between adults before they even spoke. Your brain became a pattern recognition machine. While other kids were just playing tag, you were analyzing the social hierarchy and the probability of getting pushed in the mud. You learned early on that safety came from prediction. If you could think 5 steps ahead of everyone else, you wouldn't get hurt. This creates a feedback loop. Your brain realized that thinking equals safety, so it never stopped. It is an ancient protective fortress that you built brick by brick, thought by thought. It isn't a disorder, it is a highly sophisticated shield that kept you safe in an unpredictable world.
This leads to some wildly specific behaviors that probably make you feel like an alien in your own life.
You probably rehearse conversations in the car, complete with hand gestures, winning arguments that haven't happened yet. You walk into a room and immediately scan for the exits, the mood of the host, and notice that the picture frame is crooked by 3 degrees. It's agonizing. You likely feel a profound, orgasmic sense of relief when plans get canceled, because it means you don't have to run the social interaction simulation software for 3 hours. You can spot a liar from a mile away because their micro-expressions don't match their tone, and it screams at you like a siren. Wild, right? You aren't psychic. You just paid attention while everyone else was looking at their phones. Here is your permission slip. Stop trying to numb the machine. Stop trying to force your brain into a state of zen emptiness that it wasn't designed for. You don't ask a race car to drive at 10 miles per hour in a school zone without expecting the engine to overheat. Embrace the processing power. Use it for creativity, for strategy, for deep analysis. The world needs people who can see the cliff before we drive off it. Congratulations, you're the one who keeps the species alive. If this video just explained your entire life, don't scroll. The next video explains why you absorb everyone else's emotions as if they were your own.